Okay. We left off on Samacham and Aleph. Okay. 2, 4, 6. The eighth line from the top. Ulam Rabbi Yochanan, afilu me'atov simbo. Okay. We have a case. A person says, "I'm marrying you, ma'yom alach shloshim yom." From today, after 30 days. So we had an argument. Rav and Shmuel, what does that mean? Does it mean it's a condition? Correct. When 30 days comes, it's retroactive. That was Shmuel. Rav says no. It's a question whether it was a retraction or not, whether it's a tanai or it's a retraction. Ula says in Rabbi Yochanan that it's a gradual. It starts on day 1, and it evolves, and day 30, the kiddushin is completed. And Rashi says, Tovsim, what is the connotation of Tovsim? Every one of them, it takes effect. It's not a question, which one, yes. If it's a question, which one is the husband, it should say Tofes. Tovsin, Afilu Mea Tov, that each person is considered married to her. That since when each person married her, did the act of marriage, she wasn't fully married to any of them, therefore, each one of them was able to attach themselves to the woman. Of course, they're not permitted to her, because she's married to multiple people, and each one has to give a get. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Ramashashia, the son of Rabami, says to Ravasi, he says, I will explain you the rationale of Rabbi Yochanan's position, why all the people who married her, each one's marriage is effective. Shavu nafshe kishraga de livni. It's considered like laying bricks. Each person, he left room for the other one's marriage to take place. Since when each one married, she wasn't yet fully married. As a result of that, the second person, third person, each of them was able to begin the process of marriage. Okay? So Tosis, we just mentioned Tosis. Yesterday, the Gemara says before in Daf Zayin that if a person says, Chetzech Mekudeshesli, the person says to a woman, half of you is married to me. The Gemara says, Ein Mekudeshes. She's not married. So why? So Tosis explains there's a difference. There he's marrying half of it, the other half he's not marrying. There says no such thing. You marry a whole woman. Here he's marrying the whole woman. Except the process, it evolves. So therefore, since ultimately it was going to evolve to be a full marriage, each of them is marrying, so therefore the first person's marriage is a marriage, and the second person's marriage is a marriage. So that's considered he's marrying the full woman. Except the reason why the second and third and fourth person's act of marriage is able to be effective, because when they entered into the picture, she wasn't yet fully married. But the process to be fully married was evolving to become a full marriage. That's what Tosus differentiates between our discussion here and the Gemara before with Chetzech Mekudeshesli. Okay. Moser Reb Chanina. So Reb Chanina asks from a Mishnah, Me'ayom alach hamiso. A man gives a woman a get, and he says, the get should be a get from today and after I die. So the Mishnah says, get ve'eno get. What does that mean, get ve'eno get? It's a questionable get. So let's say a woman has no children, a man has no children, he gives his wife such a get. He says, the get should be a get from today and after I die. So we had an argument before Rav and Shmuel had to understand what that means. Does it mean today? The get is a get today on the condition that I die, so then it's retroactive? Or does it mean that there's a question, maybe a retraction, correct? Originally he said it should be a get immediately, then when he said lachamisa, he meant after I die. So it's a Sofi get. Was it a Tanai? Was it a retraction? That's Rav. That's Machlus Rav and Shmuel before. No, cannot be. No, if it's a condition, it could be a get. Because that's only. But the get to take effect, no, it's too late. That's a get lachamisa. No. So the man's ignorant. The man said it should take effect at a time where it can't take effect. So then he gave a get, which is not a valid get. So what? Then she should have yibum. But since it's not clear whether it's a tanai or a retraction, so yibum you can't do because she may have been divorced, because it may be retroactive. So therefore, the halacha is choletzes ve'ein Messiah bemis. So we're quoting a Mishnah. So each of them explain it the way they explain. Rav says it one way, Shmuel says it differently. We said before it's machlokes Rebbe and the Chachomim. According to the Chachomim, say get ve'ein get. Rebbe says it's retroactive. So that's the Mishnah. Ma'yom lachamisa get ve'ein get. Whose position is this? This is the Chachomim, right? It's a questionable get. Therefore, v'mes. So therefore, if he should die, what's the halacha? Choletz lo Messiah bemis. Hey, Rabbi wasn't here since last Friday, so I have to explain this. Okay. A man says, I'm giving you a get from today, me'ayom ulachamisa. So we have an argument again between the Chachomim and Rebbe. Chachomim say it's a question whether the get's a valid get. What's the question? When he said me'ayom, from today and after I die, did he mean to say that the get should be effective today, but only when I die it should be retroactive from today? So, and why did he give such a get? Because he didn't want his wife to fall to Yibum, to his brother, because he had no children. So he gave her a get today, and when he dies, meaning if she predeceases him, then the whole thing's irrelevant, correct? But what happens if he predeceases her? It's a problem. He doesn't want his wife to fall to his brother. So he gave the get conditionally that if he should die, the get, she's divorced retroactively from when he gave her the get, correct? So therefore now, so when he dies, what is she? She's a divorcee. So she doesn't fall. But if you see it as a retraction, what did he mean to say? The get should be from now. Then immediately he retracted. It says, no, after I die. But we know get cannot take effect after he dies. Because if he's not alive, you can't divorce a woman if you're not alive. So therefore, what does she die? She dies when he dies, she's a widow. If she's a widow, she falls to Yibum. But since it's unclear, we don't know exactly, was it a Tanai or was it a retraction? So what do? You have to give a release. So therefore, the halacha is choletzes lo Messiah bemis. She received chalitza, but Yibum not. Because factually, it may be a get. And if it's a get, the brother-in-law cannot marry her. Right? Can't be involved with her. That's the Chacham. Rebbe says, no, it's retroactive. Therefore, if he dies, she's a divorcee, she's free to marry without anything. That was the argument we had before between the Chachomim, the Rabbana, and then Rebbe. Okay, that's what we're quoting now.
If the brother-in-law is too old, he's 90 years old, let's say, he was the get, new generation, is he still bound by the...
He's never bound. She needs a release. It's his prerogative what he wants to do. Yibum or chalitzas. He's not able to do yibum because chalitza. Okay? The mes choletzel Messiah bemis. Gemara says, Bishlom the Rav. According to Rav, what does Rav say? If a person makes this kind of statement, Mayom alachamisu, what does that mean? It's a question. Is it a condition and therefore it's retroactive, or is it a retraction? So Bishlom the Rav Messiah lake. So this supports Rav's position, right? That's the Chachomim. The Shmuel Nami. According to Shmuel, what does Shmuel say? I rule like Rebbe. Since he rules like Rebbe, this is the position of the Chachomim. Homani Rabbonani. The reason why it's Choletzel Messiah Bemes, because that's the position of the Chachomim. How does Shmuel personally rule? Shmuel personally rules like Rebbe. Banan Dami ka Rebbe. Elder Rebbe Yochanan. It's a Tanai. So Shmuel rules like Rebbe. Right. And this statement is the Chachomim. Okay? It's a question. Now, but the Gemara says, Ella Rabbi Yochanan, the Amashira have a. According to Rabbi Yochanan says, when you make this kind of statement, it evolves. That means the termination process begins, and when does it end? It ends after he dies. It starts now and ends after he dies. So the Gemara asks, Kol Gita Dimsharba V'lo Klumu. Yivumi Yabim. Now let me explain Rashi. The Gemara says in Gittin, the person gives a get to his wife. He says to his wife, I'm terminating our relationship. You're divorced from everybody except from that one person. That's what he says. You're divorced from me, and you're permitted to everybody except one person. Is it a valid get? He can't tolerate. He's concerned his wife may marry his enemy. Man, he cannot tolerate. And he gives her a get. He says, I'm only marrying you now. I'm divorcing you now on the condition that you're permitted to the whole world, but that one man you're not permitted to. It's not a valid get. Why? Because the Torah refers to as a get as krisus. It's a terminating. The relationship is fully terminated. And if there's any remnant of the relationship, it's not a valid get. So over here, the Gemara is asking, according to Rabbi Yochanan, when you make this kind of statement, the process, the termination process begins to evolve. And when is it completed? After he dies. Right? It starts now. Let's say it evolves, and when he dies, it's completed. But you can't give a get after you die. So that means the krisus, the relationship wasn't terminated in his lifetime. So if that's the case, according to Rabbi Yochanan, she definitely should have yibum. Correct? Because it's like Enget Lachamisa. The question is, this document he gave her, was the relationship terminated, fully terminated in his lifetime? The answer is no. Right? Because his Lachamisa means it was completed after he died. No, Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says no retroactive. He doesn't say it's not retroactive, there's no question. It evolves and it ends when it's supposed to end. So 99% of the termination happened in his lifetime, and a slight degree happened after he dies. But then it's a problem, because after he dies, right, he can't terminate any longer. So if that's the case, he should fall to Yibum. If the get is not a valid get, what does it say in the Mishnah? She received Chalitz, not Yibum. According to Rabbi Yochanan, definitely she should need Yibum. She should require Yibum. The brother-in-law should definitely do Yibum. Omar Rava. So Rava answers, we'll see in a moment. He says, get lahotzi. What is the purpose of a get? To terminate a relationship. To allow it to remarry. Umisa lahotzi. And what's death? Death also permits her. So therefore, mashashir get, gomroso misa. What the get left over, the remnant of the relationship that was left over, the death completed that, terminated that iota of relationship which was left, that remnant. Avram, are you with me? Wait, so Abai asked a question. Rav is very difficult. Hear what he says. Under normal circumstances, it's true. Person gives a get, and let's say he has children. You know something? The whole thing is irrelevant. Everything's irrelevant, right? Because neither way she's permitted once the husband dies. But over here, where she has no children, so what happens? He gives a get, it evolves. 99.99% of the relationship was terminated in his lifetime. But it wasn't fully terminated. Now he dies. What happens? So if there's a remnant of the relationship left over, so Misa over here doesn't permit it to the world. Because there are no children. So if that's the case, you have a Yovam. So if the get wasn't a get, if that's the case, it's not a valid get, she should fall to Yibum. That's Abai's question on Rava. Amalei Abai midomi. How could you compare the two? Get motzio mishus yovam. The get, by terminating the relationship with her husband, this denies her to the yovam. Because what is the yovam? The surviving brother, when does he come into the picture? He takes over the relationship of the deceased. So if the get was given, there's no relationship to take over, because the relationship was terminated. Misa machneses lushus yovam. The death, this allows the Yavam, her to enter into his domain. So how could Misa complete what the get did not? So if that's the case, the Gemara is back to square one. What does the Mishnah say according to Rabbi Yochanan? Choletz lo mesiyah bemes. She receives chalitz not yibum, but if the get is not a valid get, so if that's the case, she's a bona fide Yavama. She's a bona fide Yavama. She should require what? Somebody asked me. Anybody know something about this? You didn't put the batteries in right. Okay. You don't understand it? It's a phenomenal question. Again, what did Rav answer? The original question was, let's say the Rashi learns. The only time a get is effective if it fully terminates the relationship in the husband's lifetime. Okay? Did this get, the way it was given according to Rabbi Yochanan, it evolved until he died, including the last moment, when he was no longer here. So, it did not. Right? So if that's the get should not be a get. So the question is, so what does it say in the Mishnah in Gittin? She receives chalitza, she's not permitted to have yibum, but if the get's not a get, she's a yavama. So she's a yavama, it should be the prerogative of the surviving brother to do one or the other. So what does it say in the Mishnah? Only chalitza and not yibum. That was the Gemara's question. Rava comes and answers it. He says, well, because what the get didn't accomplish, Misa will complete. Death will complete. what normally a woman's a widow. She's permitted to remarry. So when a woman receives a get, she's also permitted to remarry. So they both accomplished the same thing. So let's say the get terminated the vast majority of the relationship, 99.99. So when he dies, the death will terminate the remnant that's left. But over here, if there's a yavam, it's just to the contrary. The death causes the yavam, her to be attached to the yavam. You able to fix it? I said you don't know. You don't know. I don't think you put the batteries in right. Anybody know anything about piss now to Harvey? No? Well, okay, whatever. It has to be calibrated or something. Okay, so that's the Gemara's question. So my answer is, okay, let's not get distracted. Everybody knows the terminologies, how to do it, not. Okay. So we're trying to reconcile Rabbi Yochanan with the Brisa. It says, Choletzes lo msiyabemes, according to Rabbi Yochanan, she should it should be the prerogative of the surviving brother to give Yibum. Elam Rabbi Sabai says something phenomenal. Now, what did the man say? The Machloks Rebbe and the Chachomim. He said, Mehayom ulachamisa. What about if he would say, I'm giving you the get in Macy? That was the terminology used. If I should die, the get should be a get. That's definitely a conditional get. He would say in Macy. Hareze gitach in Macy. So there, everybody agrees it's retroactive. Correct? In that case, let's say the surviving brother would have relations with the widow of his brother. It's considered incest. Because it did, right? Because when his brother died, she wasn't a widow. She was his divorcee. So the expression im Macy umehayom ulachamisa, they're very similar. So the Gemara Rabbi says if we allow the case chalitza, in the case of mehayom ulachamisa, if we'll allow yibum, really there should be yibum. But if you allow yibum there, what's going to be? It'll be confused with the other case. Again. Persons, the get should be a get if I die. How does that? What does that mean? If I die, if I don't die, the get should not be a get. So it's clear. It's a condition. Open, shut, black and white. If I die, it should be a get. If I don't die, it should not be a get. Yeah, but it's how we express it. If he says mehayom ula achamisa, from today and after I die, he didn't say if. So that's the argument. What did he mean? Is that the equivalent of if or not? But if he says explicitly, if I die, that's clearly a condition. Even Rabbi Yochanan agrees to that. Well, that's his intention.
If he were to predecease them, I'm giving you the gift from today. If not, if you, the wife...
Well, then it's not relevant any longer. Then it's not relevant.
Me, it's not a gift.
No, but
That works.
No question. If I die, it should be a get. If I don't die, it should not be a get. Finished. That's easy. Everybody agrees in that case. If he's that clear, it's a conditional get. It's conditional. He didn't say that. He said, Hareze gitoch mehayom ula achamisa. From today and after I die. So we have the argument. Does that mean tonight? Is that the equivalent of if I die? Is it a question? Or is it evolve, as Rabbi Yochanan says? So we say it means to evolve. So Rabbi is saying, in fact, it's not a get. It's not a get whatsoever. Really, on the Torah level, he's permitted to do yibum. But if we allow him to do yibum, that case will be confused with imacy. It could be confused. And if they're confused, we have a problem. Correct? If you give chalitza, so give chalitza, you give chalitza there. Right? Let's say he says, it should be a get if I die, and the surviving brother gives chalitza. Do we have a problem? Give chalitza. Nothing wrong with them. But if I allow, in this case, from today and after I die, if I allow yibum there, so they say, well, A is the equivalent of B. But in the first case, if he does yibum, he's in violation of incest. Because she's a divorcee, she's not a widow. So because of a concern for the confusion of both cases, Therefore, I don't allow it. Okay? No, if it's a Tanai, everybody agrees. The get's a get. It's a Tanai, conditional get. No. It's not an evolution. It's only evolving if he expresses it as it should evolve. Me'ayom ul'acha misa. Me'ayom ul'acha shloshim. But it's only if you use that terminology. But if he says, if I should die, it's clearly, it's a condition. So that's how we're concerned. So Abaye says, since both cases are very similar to one another, if I would allow Yibum in a case where on Torah level you should have Yibum, it may be confused with the first case. But if the person does Yibum in the first case, I have a serious problem, because she's not permitted to him. But if you give Chalitza, what's going to be? You give Chalitza. But if you give Chalitza, it will be confused. They may give Chalitza in the first case. So he'll give Chalitza in the first case. But there's no violation. Nothing's being transgressed. Okay, let's read inside. Elam b'lai hosam taimamai. Why over there do you give Chalitza not Yibum? Gzeiro mishum hayom imesi. Harei get. Because if I allow Yibum in that case, you may confuse it with the case where it says, if I die, it should be a get. And there it is a get. Someone asks a good question now. V'nigzer me'ayom imesi the tachlot otam yom alachamiso. So he says, if that's the case, if we're saying that you give chalitza, let's make a gzeiro. We're saying if a man says me'ayom imesi, you give nothing. Everybody agrees. If a person gives a conditional get, it says, if I should die, it should be a get, if not, not. And he dies. So what's the halacha? She's free to marry without anything. But not even chalitza. So let's make a gzeira. If I allow her to remarry there without chalitza, she'll end up marrying without chalitza here. So I should require chalitza by Hayom Mesi. That's the first question. Hayom Mesi should require chalitza because the person will confuse it with the case of Hayom Lachamisa. As we're concerned, you confuse A with B. We'll be concerned you confuse B with A. Right? It's a logical question. Yeah, but we're saying because since both cases are very similar, why do we allow Yibum in B? Because it'll be confused with A. But A, we say she marries without anything. So let's be concerned you will confuse B with A. Someone asks, with Nigzer Me'ayom Mesi, the Tachlots, we should require the Chalitza there, Otu Me'ayom Lachamiso. Because, right, we should, with case, because if you don't give Chalitza in A, you're not give Chalitza in B. Someone says, no. Ematoma Choletzes Misyabem, is what the concern is. If you give Chalitza in case A, what does the person think? Why do you give Chalitza? Really, I could even have Yibum. Chalitza is what? Is the second stage of termination. It's preferable to do Yibum. But in case, if he's in Mesi, it's conditioned. If he does Yibum, it's incest. So if I allow Chalitza, it could lead to incest. Therefore, we don't want any confusion there. Therefore, definitely nothing. We give no Chalitza. Wait, the Gemara is going to ask you a question. It shows that you're thinking logically. Okay? So the Gemara asks, Imatoma choletzes misyabemes. Someone says, Hochanami, imatoma choletzes misyabemes. So what about a case of Hayom Alachamiso? If you give Chalitza, it may turn to Yibum. You know what the Gemara answers? So there be Yibum. Because on a Torah level, he's permitted to do Yibum. Right? It's only a rabbinic concern. Again, the case when he says, the get should be a get from today and after I die. In that case, on the Torah level, you should have Yibum. Except I'm concerned, you may confuse it with the first case. And the first case will be considered incest. Somewhere says, but the first case, we said you allow to remarry with nothing. We should say he should have to give a chalitza, because you don't give chalitza in the first case, he won't give chalitza in the second case. No, because if you give chalitza, we're concerned he may do yibum. And if he does yibum, we have a serious problem if he does yibum. Correct? Because factually, she's not a yavama. Therefore, we do. So he says, if that's the case, in the second case, we say you give chalitza, it may lead to yibum. So we said, let it lead to yibum. On a Torah level, he's permitted to do yibum. According to Rabbi Yochanan, it's definitely not a get. We're going to Rabbi Yochanan. We're going according to Rabbi Yochanan. Right? It's definitely not a get. On a Torah level, Yibum is permitted.
Rabbi, I understand this is because of the argument of Vayakhel. It basically says that a get removes a woman from the
And
husband's
death,
jurisdiction.
and
Death puts her into
correct.
And these are two fundamental.
Therefore, one cannot complement the other.
These are
They're contradictory. Right? They're incompatible.
They're incompatible. So, when I just want to ask you, I had a thought that with a woman, a girl who's a minor, who's in the father's jurisdiction, so he has certain rights over her, like he can annul the vows and certain things.
Okay.
But he gives her over to marriage.
What stage of marriage? She's a minor. Let's say let's say she's
She's a minor. Now,
right.
whose jurisdiction is she?
Wait. Was it kiddushin Nesuin? Was it kiddushin Nesuin? Was it betrothal or fully married? The moment she's fully married, she's out of jurisdiction. The father, regardless.
There's a case where she's in between.
So that's kiddushin without Nesuin.
Okay.
And let's say she's between 12 and 12 and a half. So she's in between. Okay.
So we see a case where
But that's she's. Oh, wait. She's only in between. Only regarding vows.
Okay, but we see that
Okay.
she is.
Okay.
There is a possibility that someone.
Good. Does make a
Subject
difference.
to
No.
the
No.
jurisdiction
Again. The way Rashi learns, a get is a get only if it fully terminates a relationship. The get the husband gave didn't fully terminate his relationship with his wife. Right? Because it evolves. And when does he say, when is it completed? After he dies. After he dies, it cannot. He cannot give a get. So Rava says, something, it's not a problem. Because death completes what the get didn't terminate. But Abaye says, but here the death introduces her to the jurisdiction. Because there's a yavam, because he was childless. So it's not comparable to that case. There's nothing wrong. She could be in both their jurisdictions, and therefore both of them jointly annul a vow. The husband annuls it, and the father annuls it. So therefore, each one contributes to the annulment, and together they fully annul the vow. That's over there regarding annulling vows. Following. So it's not comparable. Okay, let's start the next Mishnah.
Regarding inheritance, this has nothing to do with what we were speaking about, does it?
No. Homer li isha. A man says to a woman, Hareya mukadeshes li amnash ete loch mosai mzus. A man says to a woman, let's say he gives her a penny. I'm marrying you with a penny on the condition I give you $200. So there's going to be an argument how to understand that. Is he marrying her with the penny, and the condition is he's going to give her $200? So if he gives her $200, is it retroactive from the moment he gave her the penny? It's purely condition? Or no? It's going to be machlokas how to understand. What does it mean? I'm marrying you, I'm giving you the penny, but the marriage is only effective when I give you $200. But $200, not that it's retroactive. I'm giving you just like a down payment. But factually, when is the marriage fully effective? When I pay you the $200.
But he's saying that he would give her $100 in the future.
$200. No.
Doesn't that in itself have value?
No. If he gives it to her, she's married in the future. The question is it retroactive, or is it in the future? That's going to be an argument in the Gemara, how to understand the Mishnah.
In the meantime, she's open to accepting the marriage with someone
Well,
else.
that's the question. So if she accepts a marriage from a third party, and then the first man gives her the $200, so that means retroactively she's married to the first person. So the second man's action means nothing. But if it means that the marriage will only be effective when he gives it $200 at that moment, so if a third party preempts the $200, she's married to the second person, not to the first person. That's going to be the halachic difference, whether it's retroactive, it's a condition, or no, the $200 is part of the act of marriage. You follow me?
But he has given her anything.
He gave her a penny today.
Okay.
He gave her a penny now, right? A pruta.
Nothing to marry.
So that's the question. Is the pruta the marriage? And the $200 is the condition? Well, no, the $200 is part of the marriage. So until he gives her $200, she's not married. Now that's where he starts paying her out. Down payment, that's the question. She's married. It says, V'hu yitain. When he gives it. So now the question, when it says V'hu yitain, what does that mean? When he gives it, it's retroactive. When he gives it, that's when she's married. That's the machlokas in the Gemara. Let's say he marries her. He says, I'm marrying you, giving you something now. On the kiddushin, I give you the money within 30 days. If he gives her the money within 30 days, mukudeshes. Right? That was the condition. Vimlav ain't mukudeshes. If not, she's not. He passes the 30-day mark, and he gives her the money, ain't mukudeshes. So same thing. Same thing. Same argument. Let's say somebody comes, he gave it to her after 30 days. Then everybody agrees. It's meaningless. On day 31, he gives her the $200. And then she accepts marriage from a third party. She's married to the third party. She's not married to the first man. Whatever you say, it's conditional, whatever it is, he didn't meet his condition. Right? There was an agreement. It has to be within 30 days. He didn't meet that agreement. No. Let's say it's open. So that for the rest of her life, whenever he gives it to her. That's right. So if she accepts kiddushin of another party, right, the second party on no circumstance will allow him. Because someday he may, unless he dies. Unless he dies. If he dies, then he can't fulfill that condition any longer. Well, that's going to be the same argument. That's the same argument. Is it a condition or is it not? Look, a man, she's only agreeable to marry a man who's a man of means. Of means. He says, I'm marrying you on the condition if I have $200. If it's determined afterwards he has $200, she's married. Amnash erech mosai mezuz. On the condition that I show you that I have $200. Harezu mukadeshes. V'yiralo. Wait. Vimhero lo ala shulchan. Let's say he's a banker. He's a money changer. So the money he has is not his money. He says, if I'll show you $200, ain't mukadeshes. She's not. Because her intention was, when you show me means show me money that you have. Well, years ago, it wasn't so simple. People, before they would marry, the person says, he's worth so much. So the mother would say to the future prospective husband, bring me the bank books. Bank book says you have that, then we talk. Then there's what to talk about. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
But even if it's valid, it does have $100 today. He may not have it in 30 days.
No, not in 30 days. He says, I'm worth $200.
Yeah, but he may not be in 30
it's not,
days.
It's not dependent. I'm worth now.
Yes.
And he shows he has $200 now. She's married. What about $200 and not his $200? Let's say he would borrow $200. Right? Does he have $200? He doesn't have $200. It's okay. He said, but I said, I'll show you I have $200. That's not, that wasn't her intention. Her intention was that the $200 is your $200.
Yes, but my question is, he does have $200, but he may not have $200 in 30 days.
You could have $1 million. In 6 years from now, you may be a pauper. What does one thing have to do with another? The agreement was, if you're worth $200 now, are you worth now or not worth now? So if he has it, it's a marriage. If not, it's not a marriage. Open, shut, very simple. Itmar. So now we have the argument. It's an argument. It says in the Mishnah, Harev Mukadeshes Li, if I give you $200, right? Then it says, V'hu yitain. The Mishnah says, when he gives it. If Rafun Amar, Hu yitain. Meaning, he only has to give it. Rav Yehuda Amar, Lich sheyitain. When is the marriage a marriage? When he gives the $200. Rav Huna Omar Hu Yitain. What does it mean, Hu Yitain? To know Habi. Mekayim Tanoi Vozil. I mean, he marries her with a penny today, and he says, on the condition I give you $200. So it says, when he gives it the $200, it's retroactive. She's married with the penny. Rav Yehuda Amar no, Lich sheyitain. When he says, on the condition I give you $200. So Mishas Gite means when he gives it, L'chiyov Havi Kedushay. When he gives the $200, that's when the Kedushin becomes a Kedushin. Whenever he gives that money, Hashtra Bi'lo Havi Kedushin. But today, giving the penny, it's nothing. It contributes towards the $100, the 200. But when is the marriage a marriage? When actually he completes paying out the $200. No, he's not saying no. He's not saying that. No, he's not saying that. This penny will contribute to the $200 whenever I give you that $200. No, that's a condition.
So in the meantime, she's open to a third party.
My benai, what's the halacha between Rav Yehuda and Rav Huna? She extended her hand. She accepted marriage from a third party. The Rav Huna lo havi kiddushin. According to Rav Huna, that was a condition, and when she gives it $200, it's retroactive from the moment he gave her the first cent. So the second person's marriage is not a marriage. He married a married woman. Rabbi Yehuda havi kiddushin. According to Rabbi Yehuda, she's married to the second man because she accepted the marriage from the second person, and that time she was a single woman. Utanan nami. We had the same argument regarding get. Gabi gitten. Ki agavna omeli isha reze gitoich almana shetitni lemosayim zuz. Okay, this is something for the women's livers over here. Okay, I'll give you a get on the condition you give me $200. Okay, that's what he says. If you give me $200, I'll give you a get. Otherwise, you're going to sit for a while. Harezu bukareshes. Vitite. When is she married? If she gives the money. Now, there's a tshuva for a Moshe Feinstein, David. You like this tshuva. A man, a woman wanted a divorce, and the man says, I'll only give divorce if you give me $100,000. Otherwise, I'm not giving you a divorce. And the father was a wealthy man, so the father said to to his son-in-law, I guarantee I will pay. Give the get, I will pay. It's not conditional. He'd say, when I give the money, that's the get will be a get. Give the get today, I'll pay you the money within a certain period of time. He gave the get, and then after, Ramoshe was the one who oversaw this get, and he gave the get, and then it came to pay the money. The father said he stonewalled him. Not paying. And he thought he was a wise guy. I got the get out of him. Ramoshe says he's playing games. It's clear beyond any doubt, the man did not give the get unless you give him the $100,000. You don't give the $100,000, you're entering your daughter into an adulterous state. She marries, the get is not a get. So you're playing with fire. That's what Moshe told him. Either you pay the money, the get's a get. If you don't pay the money, the get's nothing. It's clearly a conditional get.